Do you think that it is necessary to have investigation through NIA?
Sir, if there are allegations about or there are the provocations made which essentially deter our national strategic interests or our internal stability, so I think to some extent we should have an investigation at least, though not hard prosecution, and if substantial grounds are found, then the law will take its course.
What is your opinion regarding bridge course?
The proposed bridge course in medical. Sir, India has a skewed doctor-patient ratio. The Ayush doctors, it is proposed that they should have allopathic training and to increase the strength of doctors in the rural areas. Sir, this bridge course, I support this bridge course. I think it's a good and novel step in the right direction to fill the gap of doctors in rural areas. But
qualified doctors, they are fully.
yes, sir. Sir, this is true that Indian Medical Association has opposed this thing. Sir, but with opposition, they should also suggest the reforms and the reasons that why allopathic doctors are reluctant to go in the rural area. Why they don't want to work in the rural masses. So that is also an explanation expected. But still, sir, the executive has a power. They can train the Ayush doctors at least for sub-center and primary health center level, at least for the non-communicable, non-emergency, non-interventional, non-surgical diseases, which are essentially of OPD in nature, just the follow-up medicine. Like
Such a small period course is sufficient to treat a patient?
No, sir. Sir, on that thing, I would like to differ. They need at least 2.5 years or 2 years of bridge course. For basic medicines, the basic drugs, their possible side effects, their possible half-life periods, or the possible complications and how to deal with that complications. So we need to have that, and that too also on merit basis. Every Ayush doctor shall not have access to bridge course. We should launch it on the pilot basis with entrance test like examination for few seats in the initial years. And if it's successful and the cost benefit is good, then we can have it pan India. And if it backfires, then we should suspend it.
Mr. Prasanna,
Yes.
the last almost a year, you can recall some of the judicial decisions, judgments, which have been more of reformatory nature rather than dispute solving. And they have been, landmark in that respect. Can you recall some of them?
Yes, sir. Sir, Honorable Supreme Court has delivered very landmark judgments like the Sabrimala verdict, which is a classical case of constitutional morality versus institutional morality. Another triple talaq judgment, the rationalizing the civil laws of a minority religion. Then we also witnessed the verdict, which was the much disputed verdict of the Ayodhya verdict that Supreme Court delivered. And sir, the recently Supreme Court has also given the element of the critical operational necessity in Rafale deal, which has given clean sheet to the government. So these are some watershed moments of last year's judiciary.
As I see from your hobbies, you are fond of cooking.
Yes, sir.
Now, Indian cuisines. Now, culinary tourism is a vertical, and today, all over the world, culinary is one of the attractions and a very important vertical to attract people into a country. How do you think the Indian cuisine has been marketed by the travel industry or by the government all these years? Or do you think this needs to be further showcased? And if you can also recall some steps which government may have taken towards promoting culinary or food tourism.
Sir, the food is something that connects people. Food industry is definitely the driving force behind the tourism industry also. Now we see, sir, that on the front that Chinese or Italian cuisines are very famous in India, but Indian foods have not successfully penetrated their markets. This is all has to do something with the branding. They have successfully created the brands of pizza, pastas or the Chinese food, but we are lagging behind creating our own brand. Indian food, sir, is a very unique food. We have India is among few cuisines which have a concept of complete diet. We have the right proportion of carbohydrates, proteins, fats and vegetables. That's why we have a thali, a concept called pan-Indian concept called as a thali, in which every ingredient is there for a right food. This should be marketed properly. Government of India, sir, in my knowledge, I am not having that adequate knowledge of what government has done to promote the Indian food abroad, but definitely we need to work on that. The holistic nutrition concept is gaining the ground in the world. People are again going back to basics, having a lot of healthy food habits now. So we need to promote our...
Coming to the healthy food, I'll put a supplementary. Do you think that Indian food has not been able to succeed? I'm not talking about marketing and showcasing, lack of marketing. But the general impression amongst Westerners is that Indian food is not very healthy and it's very spicy. You think, since you cook food, Indian food, how do you react to this?
Sir, the food has lot to do with our culture and our climate or in our environment. We live in a tropical, semi-tropical kind of climate, so we need spicy food, and they live in a temperate climate. So they don't need spices, they don't need capsaicin element of the chili. What they need is turmeric, what they need is black pepper, what they need is salt, what they need is vegetables, because ice frozen sheath of the Europe, they fail to grow the vegetables.
So you are of the view that some customization should be done?
Yes, sir. We should be able to make it adaptable for their local taste, their local habits.
So, Mr. Prasanna, we have finished our questions. If anything which we may not have asked from you, and you would want us to ask, and you can tell any area subject which you would wish to, that we ask you that question.
I would be very happy to talk on my district,
On?
Bid district.
Or BD. Okay. Tell me some of the unique features of your district.
Sir, my district is largely an agrarian district. We still don't have any railway station, but people are very cordial, loving and caring. We were historically in the reign of Nizams, so the basic infrastructure and the institutions, they are lacking there, or they have started very late. That's why the overall development is low. We are the largest exporters of the migrant labor to the Western Maharashtra's sugar field. The 80% of the labor in Western Maharashtra to cut the sugar cane is from my district. For 4 months, the whole villages are empty. This is a very dire scene there. But we are now emerging as a big cotton growing district, along with very high percentage of good qualified professional career people, professionals and bright students. Since consistently we have topped in the Maharashtra Common Entrance Test, IITs and even the UPSC selection successful candidates, they are majorly from BID. So we are very good at education and lagging behind the overall development in sense of infrastructure. Sir, the connectivity, road connectivity is an issue that hampers the people mobility. It's a hilly district, 50% are the hills, small hills. So we need to get an accessible infrastructure. We need to bring the railway. After 70 years, the proposed railway has not come yet. The railway can definitely change the scene in my district.
Thank you, Mr. Prasanna. We'll request you to proceed for 2-3 minutes and then we'll call you again for feedback.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.